Breaking news, guys! I found homicide! The following video is opinion-based. If you do not agree with what I say, then by all means leave your point of view below. Otherwise, fuck off. Hey guys, Chris Venture here, and coming at you live from my room, my Against All Odds review. First, you know what time it is. Question of the video. I'm going to change up the question thing a little bit. Like, since I don't really get a lot of responses, I'm going to just put all of them. Alright, and you guys can decide which ones are funny. So, the question was, what will Vince put in place as Survivor Series? Now, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing this wrong, but Weselevela2 said he's changing it to his attitude toward the fans. Go fuck yourself. While Tiscod and Welcome to Havoc had the same idea. It's going to be called 8-Man Tag. Facepalm. It's when I ask you a fucking retarded question and you give me an even more retarded answer. So today's question, what about Raven? What about him? Let me know. Alright, I'm going to try to make this review as short and sweet as possible. Much unlike my sex. No. Some of the ratings I give this is also based on the live crowd interaction, how into the match they were. So it might be a little different from your perspective at home watching it. The first match was the Pope versus Desmond Wolfe. Now, overall, I think it was a pretty kick-ass match. Both guys are great workers, and both guys are incredibly over, despite Desmond Wolfe being a heel. People fucking love him. I love him. I think he's great. And he's a nice guy, and he's really big. But the match had a solid back and forth action, and also the fact that you didn't really know who was going to win sort of made it much more entertaining to watch. Pope went over Wolfe. Pope won with his running knees. Got the pin. People fucking came in their jeans. Overall, I would give this match 3.5 out of 5 stars, I think. That's fair. It was a good match. The next match was Hernandez versus Matt Morgan. Now, it was sort of split down the center. I like Hernandez and I like Matt Morgan. I like them both. But overall, it was a typical big man match. It wasn't spectacular. It didn't exactly bring the house down, but it was solid back and forth action. And it showed tension between the team, which is always interesting. You know, Morgan, he started showing heel tendencies at the end and even pinned Hernandez, grabbing the trunks. And Hernandez sort of got pissed off, which makes sense. You know, so it will be interesting to see where it goes from there. Overall, I'd give this match 2.5 stars. The next match was Kurt Angle versus Mr. Anderson. Now, everybody was behind Angle in this match. I was about the only person rooting for Mr. Anderson, which is fine by me. I'll rebel. I'm crazy. But I thought it was a pretty solid match. It was nuts seeing Kurt bleed all over the place. I suspected Anderson to go over because he sort of has an undefeated streak going. So he won sort of by a heel tactic and everything. But overall, it was a solid match. It was very enjoyable, I thought, for the crowd and for the audience at home. I'd give this one 3.5 stars as well. Alright, here's the match. This is one of the 2 matches I wasn't really looking forward to. But I was actually pleasantly surprised by this one. Abyss vs. Mick Foley. Now, they changed it at the last minute to no DQ, and Eric Bischoff was like shoving the bat in Foley and Abyss's face and like, use this on each other as a sexual plaything or just punch each other with it. I don't care. But overall, it was much better than I thought it would be, you know. The ref sort of got his foot, like, thumbtacks in his foot, which was sort of funny to see him walking around without a shoe with thumbtacks in the ring. But overall, a solid match. These two aren't the most agile or technical of wrestlers, but for what it was, I liked it. I'd give it about 2 stars. Alright, this is the match nobody was looking forward to. Nasty Boys versus Team 3D. Alright, it was what you expected. Punch kick, boring shit. And it wasn't Team 3D's fault. Team 3D did the best they could, but the Nasty Boys are fucking out. They're useless. They're botching the whole fucking match, and it was ridiculous to watch. Nobody wants to watch the Nasty Boys. Hogan does. That's about it. But Jimmy Hart came back and fucking got Nasty Boys the win. So, you know, I guess that was sort of neat. But I give this match like a star at most. So here we go to the semifinals of the tournament. The Pope versus Matt Morgan. This match was pretty intense. Like, it's pretty intense. Like, it made Pope look like, to me, it made him look like the underdog and everything. And everybody was really pulling for him. And when he pulled off the win, everybody was cheering, having a great time. You know, solid match. You know, Matt Morgan. Like, when is Matt Morgan ever gonna miss that one thing where he like jumps on him over the ropes? You know, you should know what I'm talking about. If you don't, then your problem. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I'd give the match about 3 stars. Then here it was, a rematch from Genesis, Anderson versus Abyss 2. And it was actually much better than their match at Genesis. You know, we knew Abyss wasn't winning this because, what, Abyss is contending for the title? No, nobody expected that. So when Anderson won, sort of by being a cheating bastard again, although he got his mic check off and it was a clean pin, but you know, Anderson was being a bitch the whole time. But I enjoyed it. The crowd was digging Abyss and everything, so I'd give this match about 2.5 stars. Alright, so here's the next match. AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe with Eric Bischoff as the referee. That's right, Bischoff. He is a bitch. I don't like him. AJ Styles is the fucking most entertaining heel I've ever seen. Just, his shit's gonna be so quotable. Heh is gonna be the new woo. Telling you right now. But as the match goes, good AJ Joe action, you know. I sort of wish they'd make AJ look a little bit stronger as a heel, because as a face he could overcome all odds. As a heel, for some reason, like a fucking chop will fucking down him for a 2 count almost, it seems. But everybody was good in their roles. Even Bischoff, you know, I forgot Bischoff was even in the ring, except for when he was fucking counting like shit. Ric Flair was having a heart attack on the outside, which never ceases to entertain me. Ric Flair's screaming at everybody, probably smacking little kids and grabbing tits. On the whole, I'd give this match about 4 stars. I think it deserved it. Like, I expected AJ to win, which he did. And for the main event, it was the Pope versus Mr. Anderson. Now, going into the match, the Pope got jumped backstage by X-Pac and Scott Hall because apparently they're just looking for something for these guys to do now. So when Pope's music first started playing, he didn't come out. And then Mr. Anderson came out and was just... First 5 minutes of the match was sort of boring, like Anderson going out, beating up Pope, breaking up the count and everything. And it got sort of like, oh, so they're just going to beat the Pope like this? And nobody really believed that's what was going to happen. They figured the Pope was going to win. And eventually he did. Like, he kicked out of a mic check, which everybody was digging. And then he hit his running knee thing twice and got the pin, and everybody loved it. He fucking won the tournament, and it was great. It was a great, like, it was a fun moment, you know, him winning. The match wasn't the best, but the storytelling, the entertainment value, the way the crowd was into it just made the match, like, made the atmosphere, made the match better than the actual in-ring performance was, for the most part, I would say. I'd give this match about 3 stars. So overall, I'd say 7.5 for the show overall. You know, there wasn't anything truly spectacular, but it was just a fun event to go to. It was entertaining, and I enjoyed it. And then the crowd obviously enjoyed it.